Welcome to All Things NUFC. In this video we're going to take a look at 7 key positions Newcastle need to reinforce this January to avoid relegation. With only one win so far, the lowest in the Premier League, Newcastle desperately need to reinforce their struggling team. The majority of the squad is the same as the one that got promoted from the Championship several years ago, and it shows. Despite Eddie Howe's best efforts, Newcastle United need replacements in several key positions. Howe has been playing a modified 4-5-1 formation recently, against their toughest opponents, so we'll use that as our template for the purposes of this video. After leaving Bournemouth, Howe went to Spain to study top coaches like Diego Simeone, of Atletico Madrid, and the boss of Rayo Vallecano, Andoni Iraola. The most obvious place to start is defenders. With 41 goals conceded, the most goals conceded of any Premier League side this season, Newcastle desperately need to plug the gaps in their Championship-level defence. With Paul Dummett, arguably their best defender, out of action for months at a time, it's highlighted the lack of quality anywhere in their defensive line. The recent game against Liverpool highlighted a lack of defensive pace for Newcastle on the left wing. Jamal Lewis was unable to handle Mo Salah's pace, and injured his hamstring early in the game, leaving Richie struggling to shut down the top striker. Murphy had a similar situation on the right wing, with having always struggled with defensive duties. Top players can wreak havoc on either wing against this current Newcastle squad by using a simple overlap strategy and opening up the opportunity for a cross into the box or a cutback. A new left and right back will be essential. Unfortunately, the central defenders have the same, if not worse, issues. With 19 tackles between them this season, Lascelles and Clark are a worrying prospect for Newcastle fans. Especially against any of the top 6 teams in the Premier League. Both average 30 passes per match. Compare this to the 2 Liverpool centre-backs that they faced, Konate who averages 62.5 passes per match, and Matip who averages 75. No defenders in the current squad look comfortable on the ball, and look to offload it as soon as possible, leading to loss of possession in most cases. 2 new central defenders would shore up the leaking ship. Setting aside their inability to close down attacks, the midfield are struggling to create opportunities going forward. Joelinton is arguably in his best form since joining the club, playing as a box-to-box midfielder, doing the dirty business that's needed. He challenges for the ball frequently and carries the ball better than anyone aside from Alan Saint-Maximin. Although both players still lose the ball frequently, with Saint-Maximin 2nd and Joelinton 7th on the list of most dispossessions this season. 2 new midfielders would add a new dimension to their attacking threat. Surprisingly, Newcastle have had the 10th highest amount of crosses this season, but with so few players willing to push forward, there's no one to get on the end of them. Callum Wilson is the biggest attacking threat by far with 12 goals this season so far, but the isolated striker is getting very little delivery to him. The historic Bournemouth duo of Wilson and Fraser, which originated under Howe at Bournemouth, has recently been revitalised, and is showing signs of bearing fruit. However, with Wilson's injury track record, and lack of support, Howe could do with a second high-quality striker with similar goal-scoring instincts as Callum Wilson. To have a fighting chance of staying up, Newcastle United could benefit from an entirely new defensive backline, at least 2 midfielders, and an additional striker. Is there anything that we missed? Have your say in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it in the future, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell.